can and will potentially
definitely be used against us. No shit talking over there.
All right.
It's in Mexico. There's 3 guys.
I can't relate, but
You weren't born then.
all I can say is that
Yeah, I can hear Brett perfectly. Like I can hear him coming across in the headphones. All right, I just got to get this thing shared out a couple of times.
Oh,
Can you hear us now? There you go.
Yeah. Like I said, I like beer called
capital B.
56?
Yep.
Hey, if anybody's out there, give me a thumbs up. Let us know that you can hear us, that we're coming across on the internet.
Beer drinkers?
Yeah.
because you can see him. Show him. We can see you on the phone.
What?
Yo, you got any audio? I'm curious if any audio is coming through. I got a thumbs up from Fish. Okay. I guess it's working.
Fantastic.
that bug spray just looks kind of it just like it's exactly
I say that as he looks over.
yeah, I know, right?
You smell the sweat, bug spray.
I put a lot of Axe body spray on.
We're Axe, yeah, we're really committed over here. Winner's circle.
Yeah.
Never know.
I kind of like the background music that we can kind of hear like a little soundtrack going on, a little bit of ambiance.
Are we gonna get like shut down algorithm?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah, there's like some copyrighted music in the background.
C&D from Tom York.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, thanks for checking in. Thanks for letting us know. All right, if you guys are ready, if you don't know the format, or just as a reminder, since, I don't know, you guys haven't been on in a minute, we'll go through a little bit of music. We'll do an intro. I'll say hi to everybody, and then I'm going to go through like our sponsor read real quick, and then we'll just get into it and start chatting, bullshitting.
Sounds good.
All right, sweet. All right.
Do it.
Let's go to here, and I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to hit.
Yeah, you gave me green, and then I got purple. Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
I'm holding.
All right, let's do it.
The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Might Be Brews, episode 59, the podcast where we explore the people, places, and brews of the craft beer world. My name is John. With me, as always, Mr. Steve. How you doing tonight?
We got to give a shout out to all the people that came out.
Yes.
Checked us out tonight here.
There's 3 of them for sure. But shout out to you guys. I don't know if I have a clap thing. Woo! We'll give it a woo and cut out the music. But anyway, thank you guys for coming out. With me, we've got a very special guest. Obviously, we are not in the recording studio. We are on site. Here comes another one. We are on site at Animated Brewing Company in beautiful Coatesville, Pennsylvania.
Coatesville in the house.
So returning to the show, we've got our friend Steve, we've got Jared, and we've also got Pat. Pat, I'm excited to see you, man. I swear it's been like years. Turn that mic towards you and get right up on it.
At least. I think the last time I saw you, you broke your ankle playing softball.
Was that the last time?
I honestly think that might be
It didn't break, but it was probably worse. But before we get into it, make sure you guys check out the brand new mbnnetwork.com. It's never been easier to find your new favorite podcast. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. Search for MBN Network on YouTube. Find our live stream podcast episodes and all the preview and review yesterday in 5 minutes. We've got a lot of new content coming. Help us make the show bigger and better than ever before. Become a patron on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/MBN Network. $5 a month gets you bonus episodes and bonus content and a monthly giveaway. Shout out to our sponsors, Eunomia CBD. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Use promo code MBN to get 20% off free shipping and a free gift. And Linode.com. Accelerate innovation with Linode's simple, affordable, and accessible Linux cloud solutions and services. Go to Linode.com/MBN. Create an account. Get $100 from us. So
That makes it sound so legit.
doesn't it?
It just sounds good.
All the reads, I know. It makes us feel
I
pretty
need a
good.
MeUndies ad next. That's what I want.
I know.
The MeUndies people are listening.
It's coming, I'm sure. So guys, I've been really excited to come back and do this because you guys really got the shaft from us.
Totally gave you the chat.
I wasn't here for that. What happened?
No, so like the first time that we had you guys on, it was early pandemic, right? Or maybe mid-pandemic, but early for you guys.
I think it was April.
Yeah.
So it was like the very first full month of the pandemic.
Yeah, for sure. And what sucked is we were also adapting to the pandemic. So we were starting to do this live streaming thing and we didn't know what we were doing. And so you guys ended up getting like, I forget what it was, but you guys were both remote.
Yeah, I think we couldn't connect my computer, so Steve just took it like the whole thing without me.
Yeah.
which I was totally cool with.
Right?
And relieved.
Yeah. But I felt bad because I was like, man, I couldn't get you guys both on at the same time. But I mean, let's think back to that time, right? What was it like opening this thing with all of that uncertainty? And then like, remember the aluminum shortage? Like, I don't know if that's all like,
That's gotta feel like it was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like decades ago.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like sleepless nights, man. We had no idea what was going to happen. Like just day to day, we're like, are they going to shut us down even more? Like, can we still sell beer out of the garage?
Yeah.
What could we do? And they were changing the rules every day.
What else was going on? Because I mean, like, weren't you guys like, you were like borrowing crowlers from other people, or not borrowing, but whatever. Like you were finding stuff, whatever you.
We were like completely not prepared for a global pandemic. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, I can't imagine the courage and everything that it takes to start your own business, and just the anxiety and everything that goes into that. Not to mention a global pandemic happening at the same time.
Yeah, we were prepared for pints at a tap room and
Yeah.
stocked with just enough Crowler cans and growler glassware to get us through a normal non-pandemic couple of weeks to a month.
Yeah.
And we went through all of that in about a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then, like you mentioned, the aluminum shortage, and we had to start turning to friends real quick.
Sure. It's just crazy to think about. How do you think things have changed? Like, try to like think of a couple examples of the road to get to where you are now. Like, what happened and what did you go through, and what was it like, having the pandemic start to end, maybe getting more of a customer base, things like that.
it was in a way, it was actually kind of an advantage for us. I mean, besides, not being able to sell how we wanted to, but it allowed us to like take baby steps to opening up to 100%. Like we had to sell just out of the garage door, and then we're like, oh, we can have outside seating, and then you can have inside seating at a certain percentage, and then it kept building more and more. So it was kind of like a slow ramp up to where we're at now.
Right.
And honestly, like if it was 100% right out of the gate, we might have been floundering. Who knows?
Yeah, but by the same token, I think it also forced you guys to start canning much sooner, right? Yeah, like so. On the one hand, it was sort of making it be baby steps from a taproom standpoint.
Sure.
But it made us skip some steps from a canning and getting out there standpoint, which is was beneficial for me because then they brought me on to help sell all the cans. So,
Yeah, right.
So it worked out for me.
And speaking of cans, I've been seeing you guys all over the place.
That's what I do here.
So while you're here, where's most of the places that the cans are available? I think people can go get them in their hands if they're not here in Coatesville.
So we're at most of the local distributors. A handful of them the guys had set up before I joined full time. I've just sort of been lurking around since they've opened in a unofficial or part-time capacity, but just went full time 2 months ago, and really Monday through Wednesday I just go out and hop into distributors, and some of them we already had great relationships with, like Chester County Beverage, Exton Beverage, Lionville Beverage, like a couple nearby, but I've been able to push this a little further out. And it's just great because it's what I do all day while these guys are home making the beer. We've really wanted to go west. That was our first big idea, was to go out toward Lancaster. Just from working in the tap room, we had noticed a lot of customers from Gap and further west coming out to us. So we decided to sort of try to go out to them. We're at Beer and Bev out there. We're at Brewers Outlet East. And we're in the Barnstormer Stadium, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
We're all baseball nerds, so we're super into that. So really, that was our first plan. Was like, well, let's go west first and see what happens. And it's been going great. Yeah, we're in a lot of the local distributors, and it's more often than not, most of them are super stoked to work with a small independently distributed brewery as we are.
Now, did you guys imagine when you were getting this thing started that you were going to be just in distributors right away? Did you imagine starting as a little local tap room? And
no, I mean we weren't even really planning on canning until right about now from when we opened, like springtime of 2021. So being in distributors was just like, okay, how do we do that? Do we just go there and ask them? We literally had no idea. But people have been totally open to us being there.
My technique is I just go in and look for the youngest kid, and I say, "Who's the owner?" And they usually will point right to the guy.
What is Fish doing here from Jersey?
He's swung in for the gig, I guess.
Wow, that's really unexpected. The guy lives 2 hours away. That's incredible. So that completely threw me off.
You want me to be
Go ahead.
Okay. How much extra brewing did you do? Did it cause you to brew more than you think you would have initially, or did you still brew the same amount and just distribute it through different channels?
For us, I think it actually made us brew a little less than we intended to, because our whole thing was going to be supplying the tap room and 100%. So the stutter step there to get canning and find our way of how to get those cans out to people took a little bit longer to find our footing there. But we had planned on brewing a lot more in the first year than we actually ended up doing. But 25% capacity was a
killer.
Yeah,
a killer. I'm sure
the greatest thing in the world.
So I noticed one of your guys' posts recently that you guys said we had a plan for how things were going to be when we opened. You couldn't actually do it that way, but you're finally starting to get there. Can you talk a little bit about how you're going to do the operations here and what people can expect when they, are looking for your beer?
Yeah. So as far as the tap room goes, we've recently transitioned to the fast casual model, which I think is just what a lot of tap rooms are doing, and it just works so well. You just order your beers at the bar, you order the food at the back window, and that was really the way those guys drew it up from the get-go. The issue was with the capacity restrictions. We, in order to compensate for that, we had sort of improvised outdoor seating where we were setting up tables in the parking lot, and it just wasn't practical to do that model with tables out there. So
Sure.
now we have a fully operational beer garden out back that is open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's the outdoor option. The indoor option is indoors,
Yep.
and now we're able to transition to that fast casual. Whereas it just wasn't practical with 6 tables, in the parking lot, basically.
Yeah, sure. So talk about that. If people come into the parking lot, where do they get to that beer garden? You're saying
So
like
it's
out back.
It's about 20 yards down. If you're facing our front door,
Yep.
tap room's right in front of you. The beer garden's about 20 yards down. If you're facing us to your
Right on the
left-hand
river.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I also saw you guys are hoping to maybe attract more families, like be a bit more family friendly and a bit more dog friendly with having that extra space.
The beer garden is ideal for that. We're all dog lovers, all 3 of us, and I've already been out there with my pups 100 times, and it's just it's right on the river, so it's really serene. My one dog is cool, the other one isn't. So Jared's dog's not cool. Steve's dog is the chillest to chill, but can't be around other dogs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Not dog friendly.
Yeah. So
Well, that's cool. So dog friendly, you guys.
dog friendly, kid friendly,
Yeah.
super encouraged for the tap room. I mean, for the tap room and the
Yeah, sure.
Beer garden. We do aim to be family friendly. In both locations, pet friendly out back.
Nice. Well, how about how the food has evolved? Because what was going on when you guys started versus what it was in the middle, and then what you guys ended up with, and what people can expect today.
I mean, we started out with just doing the food truck plan.
Yeah.
Same thing with canning. We weren't expecting to have the kitchen open until about now.
Right.
We weren't renting that space, but we kind of got forced to rent it. So we're like, okay, well, we're paying for the space now. Let's get the kitchen up and running, get it going, get a chef in here, get a menu going.
Okay.
But kind of like a lot of things, we were forced to do a lot of things way earlier than we wanted to.
Sure.
But it's worked out. It's food has helped us grow here. If you're eating, you're drinking more. So
Yep.
That's kind of our look at it. So
What kind of stuff is on the menu? What can people expect?
we're trying to do just fast, above average bar food. Like we got nachos, pizza. We smoke some meat, so we do brisket sandwiches, pork sandwiches. But just really good bar fare.
So you guys brought a chef in, like you guys have somebody working
Yeah.
full time. That's
He's right back there.
I see him in the chef's hat
Yeah,
and the sweet pants.
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
We got an awesome jumbo pretzel too that we came across when we started doing Oktoberfest last September.
Yeah.
And it just went over so well when we were just able to do outdoor seating. Nobody was allowed inside.
Sure.
And right from the get-go, as soon as we brought our chef in, he was part of the food truck that was working that. We were like, we got to have these all the time. Like,
Nice.
why would we only have them for Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
It's the perfect bar food.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a jumbo pretzel, the size of a
pretzel.
human body.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I
awesome.
mean, the
It's
pretzel is
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything on the menu is fantastic, and we're really, made some upgrades in the kitchen to utilize, our equipment a little better. And now with the menu, the fast casual menu, sort of locked in place, we're getting food out quickly, and it's all. Jared sells it short by saying above average. It's fantastic bar food.
Nice.
Well, let's talk about the beer a little
Yeah, for sure.
bit. Which one are we drinking on here right now?
This is a Robot Factory. It's our Session Mosaic IPA.
That's what it is, man. I'm like sipping on this thing. Like
Yeah.
this has like the perfect flavor
Single
profile
hop,
for me.
All Mosaic in the boil, all Mosaic in the dry hop.
It definitely hit me on the nose. As soon as I smelled it, I was like, Mosaic right off the
It's
bat.
That's what it is.
Pilsner malt base.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What's the ABV on this?
5% even.
Holy crap.
That's the one we have out at the Barnstormers at Clipper Stadium.
Yeah?
And it's going really well. I mean, they have a lot of local PA brews out there. That they have the it's called the Broken Bat Craft Brew Deck, and
Nice.
a lot of awesome breweries out there.
Sure, some
We
Trogs.
went in. I mean,
yeah.
I think a lot
Stuff
of
like that. Yeah.
100%. I think a lot of those breweries went in with like their flagships are typically like higher ABV, but for us, we're like, if I'm sweating out at a ball game, I want 5%, maybe even lower. So we went out with the robot, and it did super great right off the bat. So it
That's
sold
awesome.
out. We sold, they poured 3 sixels in 4 games, so we were pretty stoked about that.
Oh, that's great.
Who are they affiliated with?
They are unaffiliated.
They're unaffiliated.
It's a independent league. I think it's a 10-team league now, and it's great. The stadium's fantastic. When you go there, they have like the big accomplishments are the guys that made the jump to the big leagues, because it's pretty difficult,
to go from independent
to go from independent league, right? And I think my vibe of it, it's a lot of players that might be, rehabbing injuries, but just don't have a team to latch on to. So they go there.
They said they're independent, but they have a partnership with MLB to test things out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So the runner on second base thing that we all hate started with.
You know what? I hate it until I go down to a game with my kids.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this should be over quick enough.
Yeah, right. I'm tired of slouching over. I'm just holding the mic like I'm Eminem over here.
Do you guys know Doug well?
Absolutely.
Doug, yeah.
Somebody
Doug's in every Quizzo night. We do Quizzo every Wednesday night, and Doug always has a team.
Yeah, he commented in the chat that he's enjoying a Robot Factory too, but I also have knowledge that he's had every beer that you guys have ever released.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like? Like, I can imagine being a brewery and opening a brewery, and then just like having people that are like that big of fans. They're like, I've had every one of your beer.
Fantastic.
Like,
it's like what's kept us going here.
We
Right?
have a great roster of regulars.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Everyone that comes in here,
they're the best people.
They're the best. Like,
Yeah.
like we got Doug and
Kurt Hershey.
Kurt Hershey back there.
Oh yeah,
Coatesville
Kurt's the
legend
best.
himself.
We've got a lot of family in areas. My cousin's sitting right there. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
But that's it's not surprising to hear that people try them all, because these guys, the brewer, they make my job easy sales wise. These guys brew fantastic beer. It's why I left my job to come here and work for them, is because I believed in the beer. That beer specifically,
So
Robot
good.
Factory. I was like, we're gonna sell them.
It's easy to
million
sell that, right?
cases.
Yeah.
let's go. Let's do this.
That's coming down to the beach with me, and next week I can
There
tell
you
you
go.
that.
Also, shout out Jeff Norman. He just checked in. Also, he's saying you guys are making your first Kennett Brewfest appearance
We are
in October,
We are.
so that's exciting.
Absolutely.
You excited? You gonna be pouring some beers there, Pat?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I have not personally been really a part of any of the previous beer fests these guys have done, so that's going to be the first one I'm going to be at. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, we love that one.
It's
That's
one
a
of the
good
best brew fests around by far.
Between the quality of the beers that they get, the not frat atmosphere.
Yes.
I don't know how else to put that.
That's the perfect
If I
way to put
offended
it.
you, I'm serious. There's a reason I'm saying it like that, because it's not
Yeah.
crazy. It's a lot of people and just enjoying the beer, enjoying the beers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I want to know if Doug was one of the teams that beat me when I was here for the 90s trivia, 90s music.
90s music trivia. That was our second one, I think. So that was late last year, probably.
I thought it was this
So,
year.
real quick before you
90s
go,
music.
like talk about like the events that you guys have going on, because I always see like different types of quizzos and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
so Quizzo Wednesday night is our thing right now. That's going
Okay.
really well. Wednesday nights usually are pretty packed out. We just do it's a different topic every week.
Yep.
Like this past week was Star Wars and so on. Fairly standard
And Pat tries
topics.
to do Metal Mondays.
And I do Metal
Yeah, what's Metal Mondays?
Well, that was it's my Spotify playlist of metal, way too loud, and $1 off each beer. That's
Very
all.
loud.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, we were right toward the end of pandemic restrictions. We were getting into live streams. We did one live stream with our friend Nathan Gray from a fantastic band called Boy Sets Fire, and we were looking to get into a little more of the live music thing. But like right as we were starting to book the second one, a lot of the restrictions lifted. A lot of musicians that we had our eyes on started getting real busy real quick. So that's sort of on the back burner. We're hoping to get something going again in the fall as far as live music goes.
Nice.
But Quizzo Wednesdays is our sort of, that's how we kick the week off. We're closed Monday and Tuesday for brewing and canning.
Sure.
But kicking the week off with Wednesday Quizzo is a lot of fun. And,
Yeah.
it's
Nice.
good stuff.
Very cool. Well, I've got a brewing question for the brewer guys. People
Pints.
pints are fine.
I have a full stomach, so I'm ready to drink some beers.
What would you say, like, obviously, I think we talked about in the past the transition from like home brewing to being on your own equipment that's here.
Yeah.
That's got to be an adjustment. But what would you say it's like now that you've had all this time? How you guys are coming up on 2 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
2 years like here doing the stuff, but the tap room's only been open about a year and a couple of months.
Yeah. I think we did our first brew here in February of 2020.
Yeah.
So it was just over a year brewing in this
So
space.
for people that are brewers, what do you think has changed, or how have you adapted to the system? Like, do you feel like you're getting better efficiencies? You've really honed in on some
We're
recipes.
always dialing it in.
Yeah?
It's never ending to try and get that efficiency where you want it.
Yeah.
If the efficiency game is just it's nonstop.
But I
It's
mean, we've
nonstop.
since we started brewing here. I mean, we've probably gone up, probably jumped up 12-ish% in our efficiency. Just just figuring things out and trying different methods and it's
knowing
just a
how
game of trial and
your
error.
system works.
Yeah,
Sure. Do you feel like your quality is just like on a different level? Did it creep up a little? Or, I mean, you guys.
I mean, I've always loved our beer. So
but truthfully, no. I think it's actually night and day from the homebrew days.
yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you just had the temperature control here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you just don't really have, unless you spend a lot of money in homebrewing.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
here, like you dial it into a degree, and it just stays there for weeks on end.
Sure.
It's hard to do that at home.
a buddy of ours always used to say he got the homebrew farts, and I think that's a lot to do with not being able to dump all of the yeast
Yeah,
from the finished product.
like cold crashing it properly.
Yeah, like all of the steps now at a professional system, you're able to like really get rid of.
Get a nice clean
Yeah.
product. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Has that opened up any styles that you initially said, I'm not sure about that style, that you've gotten into?
Lagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We kind of shied away from lagers in the homebrew days just because we were like, find the right time of year and put it in the basement and try and hope that it works. But now it's like, just like Jared said, temperature control, and you're like,
Yeah. You can nail it, like, dial it in right where you want it, and
Absolutely.
that is awesome. It's crazy to think like, so like, for example, like I was doing a home brew recently, and I didn't really have time to cold crash it the way that I wanted to, so I just kegged it right away.
Mhm.
And I don't think it turned out as good as it could have. Like, I think there's something for like disposing of the stuff that results in the cold crash.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you cold crash it, it all drops out. Get rid of it. Oh yeah. When you cold crash it, just drops everything out, and
Yeah.
it's definitely you got to do that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, well, it's going to do the same thing. Like, it's all going to fall to the bottom of the keg, once I get it in there. But I don't know, man. I don't think it was as good as it could have been. But that's interesting. I'm just learning stuff on the podcast.
They call that shugging. You're shugging a recipe right now.
Shugging? I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
I
You
mean,
gotta watch the barbecue shows. That's what they call it.
It's like a
Sugar.
Suge Knight reference?
No, not at all.
Okay.
0.0%.
That's just what I would assume.
Suge Knight reference.
Dude, this session, this mosaic thing is so good. Like, I know I've had it before, but like, I don't know.
I mean, when we came up with this, we were just like, we wanted to keep it real simple, like we Pilsner malt and some Golden Promise and all mosaic. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like that's all that beer is. And
It's so good.
just make it nice and clean and easy drinking. That's kind of our motto. Like of all the beers we make here, that's all we want to do.
Yeah.
Make them clean and easy.
What about this one? What do we have here?
It's called Shake That Ice Hand, and it's a grapefruit New England IPA.
Nice. I've definitely had that one before.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it on the menu and everything, but I can't
It's probably our juiciest of beers, I guess.
Yeah. The grapefruit hits on like just the very back end of it.
I almost went, where's the grape? Oh, it just snuck up the back end and the jowls there a little bit.
Does this have a different yeast than the other beer?
This
What are
no.
we using?
So this is a SO4.
Yeah.
For Shake That Ice Hand. But then,
Is that-
then,
is-
then the
is-
one that you
yeah.
just had, yes.
Okay.
We use S33 for.
I think I can
Robot
pick
Mac.
out 04 now. I think I've gotten to the point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Bullshit.
It's a pretty standard yeast, you know.
Yeah, no, I usually switch back and forth. I'm pretty simple between if I'm doing IPAs 04 and 05.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's always an obvious difference, but I was like, are you really getting that much flavor out of the yeast? Like, I don't know. And I'm like, because the recipe's different also. Like, usually when I do the 05, it's like an IPA that's got like some like Karma pills or something in there. You know what I mean? Something a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some caramel malts or whatever. But like, and I usually do like a lot of oat with the 04, but like, I don't know.
We've begun to shy away from 05 and 04. We love those yeasts, but we've come to realize that they're good for heavy lifting. Their attenuation is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But as far as like you mentioned, flavor from the yeast, 04 and 05 don't really lend a lot to the beer that most people can pick up from.
Okay.
They do a little, but
you know?
they're gonna eat that sugar and turn it into alcohol, and they're really good at doing that.
Okay.
But a lot of the side things that you want from yeast, they're average.
Sure.
You know.
All right. So a tough question for you guys. Are you where you want to be? I mean, did things work out the way you wanted, or are you where you thought you'd be? Or
I don't think we really.
Are you still like trying to get there, kind of thing? Like, you know,
we're still like one day at a time. You know, we're just like where we're at is where we want to be.
Yeah.
Like where we are today is where we want to be.
Yeah. Good.
You know, we're not in a rush to get anywhere.
Sure.
You know, hey, if we get another location next spring, awesome.
Locations already.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, but it's just
But yeah, why not? Right.
Yeah, we're not in any rush. You know, we want to just take it step by step and not overextend ourselves and just make sure every move that we make is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know, if you do overextend yourself, that could be the death of you. So
Sure.
Like right now we're like we need another fermenter, and that's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our next step.
I mean, of course you want to just like kill it and blow up right away, but like, you know, you set yourself up and hope that like you can at least operate on what you have. To need more is got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, and we like every day we have the conversation, just what Jared said. I mean, we're essentially, you know, every day is where we want to be, but every day we do have the conversation. We're like, all right, so what's the order? Storage, tank, van, location? Like we're like, no, wait, maybe it should be, and then like, all right, well, that's all. Like the storage units happen this month. The next tanks happen in the month after that. The vans happen in the month after that. And it's sort of that real loose 6-month plan.
Sure.
That's ever changing, but it's there. You know, there's a sketch of it there.
It's that business side that like you don't really think of when you go into this, and then it hits you of like the whole logistics, like in any business that you do, and like you try to figure it out. And you hit the first thing that your first bottleneck, and you're like, okay, so just get one more of them, and bottleneck done. It's like, well, that's not the answer. Like, so getting another fermenter wasn't the full answer, because we were like, well, we need more room to store it in. Like,
yeah, right.
So getting more product doesn't mean you're good. Because where are those kegs going? Where are the cases going? So then it was like, you got to step back and think about it and like break it all down first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We didn't get a chance to walk through here really because it took us like 7 hours to set up. But how much room do you have to expand here? You talk about extra fermenters and extra space. Do you have that space to do that here?
In the spot that we're at right now, we do have a good bit of. We have a very friendly space back there where we walk into a lot of other breweries, and the first one that comes to mind is when we stopped by Mad Chef. And they had their brewery in the kitchen. And
before they expanded.
This is going back last year. But so many other breweries are in that spot where like you find a place to put a tank, you put the tank there.
Right.
And so we do have like plenty of room. It hurts because like we can actually move around back there right now, and that's kind of nice. But,
I mean, there's a lot of room, but by the same token, if you drop a tank, not only are you losing that footprint, but that's going to produce much more. So we're
Right.
pretty much, and there was a good storage unit opportunity that came up, so we jumped on it, and that's
Nice.
being built as we speak, which is going to be a game changer for us. It's going to allow us to basically drop as many tanks as we need back there. So
Is it in building 4?
it is not. It is not.
Yeah, we're like looking at that. Like,
Yeah.
what is building for?
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Building,
Building
4, man.
four.
It just is what it is. It's its own thing,
It's
man.
kind of mysterious, you know what I mean? I'm like, you wouldn't be surprised if the
what
government.
happens in Building 4 stays in Building 4. And we
If
are
anybody's
thankful for
wondering
that.
what we're talking about, if you're standing in front of the tap room and turn around, there's just like a building on a hill that we parked in front of that just says Building 4 on it. You have no idea what kind of business or facility it might be.
Yeah, we advise you don't go in there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, shout out to Brett. He was here earlier. He popped in with a question. What proportions get allocated to each business model? So I guess he's assuming like, maybe how much do you guys distribute versus
That's a
in-house?
fantastic question. We talk about, we constantly changing. We talk about it almost daily. We say, hey, because really like our bread and butter is somebody that comes into the tap room and has a handful of beer and has some food and then hits our takeout cooler on the way out. And a surprisingly large percentage of customers do that.
Yeah.
So we hit really all 3 buckets, so to speak, selling at our tap, selling our food, selling our cans.
Yep.
So really it depends how many cases get ripped off of every canning run, based on what that is. It's like, okay, well, we have 150 cases. We're not canning again for 4 weeks. We know we're going to need X amount for these weeks out of our cold box. So here's how many you have to run with. So it sort of changes as we go, but we're aware of it and we're on top of it.
Yeah.
We sort of massage it as it goes, but it's not like a defined number. It's not like, hey, here's what you have to work with. Here's what we.
As far as keg beers, we definitely look at people that we sell our kegs to, bars, restaurants, the ballpark.
Yep.
We always look at them as like partners, like they're helping promote our brand.
Sure.
So we always look at it that way, but at the same point, we realize that we can't run out of beer at our own tap room.
Exactly. Right.
So it's always like looking down the road, like when you start that conversation of promising a keg to somebody, you're like looking at the board, like we got
how much beer to brew.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
yeah,
we got 4 kegs, but how quickly have we run through them recently? When's the next version of that coming back out?
It's a total juggling act.
Yeah.
Like every our brew schedule, we have 5 tanks back there, and we have all 5 tanks set to be packaged the same day. And then we're like, all right, well, our next can run is 3 weeks away. We need to make sure we pull off enough kegs to keep the tap room running, and then get as many cases as possible.
Sure.
For Pat to run out. So
yeah,
it's always like, all right, this beer we need this much. This beer we need this much. Like, what's going to sell faster in kegs? Which is going to sell faster in cases. So it's great.
But to that point too, there's no shortage of demand, which is the super exciting and promising thing.
Yeah.
Like when we do have the capabilities to, up our production, it won't be hard. We're gonna, so that's exciting. Yeah.
One of those.
It's a good problem to have, the production issues, but good problems are still problems. You know what I mean? We still got to work through them. So
it's one of those questions that I bring up to people all the time is when you're either a buyer or seller of beer, what's it like to be in the market today? Because, it's not just Sierra Nevada Pale Ale on the shelves. You know what I mean? Like you walk into a Thorndale beverage, an Exton beverage, a Chester County, whatever, and there's so many IPA options. There's so many local breweries around. What's it like for somebody that has to actually convince that guy to say like, hey, this is what you got to get on your shelf?
And I don't want to cut you off, but not even just the local guys.
No.
Now you got to deal with other half being in Thorndale beverage, which
right?
is a sentence that should have never left my mouth ever. And come to Philly.
Yep.
It's a fun challenge. I mean, I've been in sales all of my life. I was a sales manager at my prior job before coming here. And, I had been going back and forth with these guys basically since they opened about like, all right, I'm going to end up here, just when and how. And obviously pandemic threw all of that for a loop. But finally, it was time. And they said, all right, you got to get here. But I had no experience in the industry. I had experience in sales, but not in the industry.
Sure.
And that my game plan from day one was just go with a cooler on my backpack and just introduce myself to people and get in front of people.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't aware quite to the level of saturation, like how just insanely packed every shelf is.
It's crazy.
But
yeah.
I feel we have a lot going for us. Like I just, you analyze the pain points are like, okay, there's a million IPAs, there's a million, but then you look for the good points. It's like, well, we're highly rated on Untapped.
Yeah.
We're local. We, our beer is fantastic. Our cans look great. Our cans jump out versus a lot of what's going on art-wise. And, initially I put together a bunch of different loops, essentially routes of about 25 distributors. I would get to like 20 a day, and I'd end up selling it like 5 or 7 of them pretty standard.
Yeah.
But it's because it's such a supportive, if you can articulate what your selling points are to somebody who's willing to, who's a fan of craft beer, you go into some distributors and they don't care about craft beer. They're just not. They're there to sell their 30 packs, and that's that. And that's fine too. That's great. But the many of the ones that are very supportive of the craft and the local will, if you just put together a good product and keep your promise of delivering the next day, they'll get you on the shelf, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Is there a beer bar, restaurant, distributor that you guys are not in that you say, man, once we get into
I want to fucking be there so bad.
X,
I
want to be in Monk's. I want to be in Teresa's.
There's one off the record that I'll tell you guys later.
But yeah, Monk's or Teresa's, like those are, they're held up here.
Sure.
They're like the top, but I don't know. I can't really think of anything that we really pushed for that we didn't get into.
The big one that comes to my mind is Jake's Bar in Westchester.
Yeah.
You want the 25-cent draft?
25-cent draft. I keep seeing Pabst, and I'm like, why not us? Why not us?
Why not us?
I could do a half hour on Dwayne, the bartender. We were in there. Have you ever been in Jake's?
No,
You've probably never even been
I don't
in
even
Jake's.
know if I have.
Jake's is like it's maybe the size of this wall to this wall.
It's an enigma, but somehow they get a big shuffleboard table.
They get a big shuffleboard table in there, and there's like 7,000 college kids in there.
Oh yeah.
And one night we're in there, and it's packed.
And they're all smoking.
Everybody's. Oh my god! Somebody climbs on top of the shuffleboard table to turn off or on the ceiling fan. I don't even know what they were doing. But Dwayne, who was the bartender there for years, and this voice goes at this level, goes, "Hey, asshole." And somehow you could hear him over 400 college kids. Get off the table.
He was
right?
Yeah.
A force of nature.
Oh, that's
so
wild.
I used to live behind Jake's up in one of those apartments where we could just take the fire escape down and be basically at Jake's.
Perfect.
And I would get I think it was $2 pounder 6-packs of Peels was our thing, and that was our jam in college, man. That was it.
Yeah, I saw somebody post a McDonald's ashtray, and it's just crazy to think about like how different the world is now.
Yeah.
So way back in the day when we were all hanging out in Westchester, and I went to school there. That's how I first sort of came into these guys' orbit. I mean,
sure.
I don't even want to say how long ago it was, but well over 20 years ago. The place to go was Rex's, and that was owned by our buddy Donnie, who owns a social lounge in Westchester and Downingtown.
Oh, okay.
And we're in both of those. Donnie's been a great friend and supporter forever.
I gotta talk about that.
Yeah, but back in the day at Rex's, you could smoke, and then they finally I guess I don't know. Now, Rex's is long gone, and you can't smoke anywhere else in Westchester. But all the kids that really want to smoke inside, they go to Jake's. So.
Rex's is the place we were talking about. That's behind the place we went to in Westchester.
Behind Wrong Crowd.
Behind Wrong Crowd.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The place where I was watched a jazz band play the Night Court theme song.
Nice.
For like at least 25 minutes.
Nice.
They just vamped for 25 minutes on the Night Court theme song, and it was awesome.
Yeah. No, Rex's was just a legendary spot in all of our lives. It was like the first. I hesitate to even call it a dive bar because there's way divier, but it was the first like Westchester spot. It had dive elements.
Pretty dive.
It wasn't a straight up dive, but it's it was the first like for people of our age in Chester County, of our age and our persuasion as far as culture and like music and everything like that,
Yeah.
it was like where you would want to be at in late 90s, 2000s Westchester.
Nice.
I used to live, if you go up from Rex's where the old Bishop Shanahan is,
Yeah.
up in the apartments back there. So I had my Rex's nights.
Nice.
Excellent.
I still find it wild that like I randomly came across you guys like going out to have a catch in West Bradford,
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
you guys
is
were
that how
like,
you guys started playing softball with
yeah,
us?
we were just like we used to go there and just like play catch and like hit balls and run bases, like
you and
me and Ben and Dumont.
right. Yeah, Dumont, and love Dumont, love those
I know,
guys,
right?
man.
Yeah, and it was just so wild that
Yeah.
like you guys were playing like the same day that we were there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
we're
guys were
friendly
like,
dudes
come
like that.
over.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was you, Pat, to be honest. You were probably like, come hang
It was
out.
probably Mike Cummings, who is
Yeah.
like our dear friend. He's a part owner here.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he's got a
he's
tank
involved
here, right?
in-
Is it a tank? No. He named beer number 2.
Yes, he named beer number 2.
That's
Mike
what it
is,
was. You have a
Mike's-
tank here.
I have a tank at East Branch.
East Branch. Jesus Christ.
It's all
Also, dear friend.
It's
Yeah.
all very family.
It's just so wild that like I
Incestual.
randomly met you guys however long ago that was,
that
15
was
years ago.
At least 15 years ago.
Right?
I would
And
say,
then like I don't know, everybody's kind of like got into this beer thing, and
Yeah.
maybe it was always happening, but like between you guys and Gov and Sean
well,
and
Sean,
Todd
yeah.
and
well, Gov was at Victory. And,
yeah,
and,
he was
and, like,
there at the time. But like I remember I've said this probably 10 times on the show, but like I remember Sean showing me pictures on his phone, like we're building this bar, like look at
Oh,
this
yeah,
bar
yeah.
me and my
Sean-
brother built,
Sean,
and
since
it's
I've met
we're
him,
gonna
man,
call
like,
it Station Tap Room.
I'm
what?
going to embarrass myself right here and say that Sean McGettigan is like my man crush, man. Like that's the like that dude lives the life how it should be lived. It's like, hey, drilled down on what he wanted to do at a young age,
Right,
and just
yeah.
like went for it and had this whole game plan. And I'm sure he would probably be embarrassed to hear me say that, and he would probably be like, oh well, I made 100 left turns along the way
Sure,
as well.
yeah.
But to me, from the outside, it's like, I don't know, man. It looks like you were focused as hell the whole time, and like one step to the next step, and just perseverance. And now he's essentially the mayor of Downingtown.
Right? It's pretty wild.
We had some great off the record conversations that will remain off the record
Yeah, for sure.
with Sean.
But I think one of the things that came across to me in some of those off the record things was just like he just like had a vision and did it his way.
100%. 100%.
You know?
He's very driven.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those dudes that you're just like, if he wants it, he'll do it. And
Yeah.
like just one of the most motivated people that I've ever met. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. It's just it's such a tight knit group that you guys are, and the little bit that I got to kind of be a part of it was really cool. And it's nice that we're all still like
We're all
friendly
still
and hang
in
out
the
and-
orbit. And
Yeah.
I mean, we kept that softball thing going for ages, man. Yeah, we just had
nice.
it wasn't very well attended, unfortunately, but it's hard. Everybody event. I mean, it's just life. It's sort of the spot. But I mean, there was one summer, man. We joke about it a lot. We must have played. I mean, I say summer. We started in March, and, and we were like wrapped up in November. We probably played 35. For anybody who's listening to this, we were real serious about pickup softball for a little while.
Right.
We're talking about trying to get brewery leagues together.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like
I will put that challenge out to
the-
Sean. I just
the
said some nice stuff
animated
about
team,
Sean.
the East
Yeah.
Branch team,
Now
the
I'm
Root
out for
Down
blood.
team.
Yeah,
Brothers Kirshner, if
Yeah.
you're listening. get yourself a
Animated is
team.
throwing down an open challenge to
I don't know if we
East
serious.
Branch. East Branch, though, I mean, right off the bat, just the three. I mean, Sean, Gov, and Dylan. Maybe we better think about
It's
this.
not fair.
All three of those guys can hit a ball.
Yeah.
As long as Gov wears
We
the appropriate
got
amount of, or
some
not
people.
Gov.
We got some people.
Yeah, we got some crew. We got some ringers.
As
Mike
long as
has to be on our
Dylan-
team, so it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to see Dylan wear the proper amount of clothes.
Yeah. That's
I felt like that
For
guy
anybody that
had
doesn't
cut
know,
off shorts.
Dylan's
Yeah.
shirt comes off.
he would definitely rock
Really
that
quick.
groundskeeper Willie thing, man. he would roll.
We're talking about jorts, right? Dylan
Jorts.
Yeah,
jorts?
pretty much.
George,
yeah, but like,
Yeah.
Jorts would imply that you could call them shorts.
yeah,
Real quick, stuff from IPAs and do a pilsner.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've ever seen, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like somebody try to like make briefs out of jeans. That's what Dylan does. But it's been a while. So, what would you say? I'm going to put you on the spot now, Steve. Is what do you think?
Put me on the spot?
No, the other Steve.
I know.
What do you?
We're looking at him.
What do you think inspires you guys now? Like, you've got this fire to start up a new business, and now that you guys are established as like the Coatesville Brewery, you've got a decent following, you're getting cans out there, you've got a lot going for you. What keeps you inspired, and what keeps you like just grinding every day?
Oh, I mean, that's like we're never where we were at where we want to be. I mean, not to talk over what Jared said, where we're always at where we are, but I mean, we're always striving to get to the next step. And just the community around us is what's inspiring and motivating us. Like everybody, like this industry is the greatest industry to be a part of.
I'm sure, man. I always say beer people are the best people.
There's just awesome stuff coming out all the time. And you're always looking around and just seeing like what's new. And by that new stuff coming out, you're like, well, what can we do that's new? Like you're always kind of like looking for that thing that kind of defines you or whatever. So we're always in search of that.
Sure.
So I mean, we're constantly motivated and inspired to do stuff like that. But I mean,
are you always trying to like, do you ever see something and think like, that's a good idea, let's hop on that trend? Or like, I mean, how does it, how do you
come up with the ideas and other breweries do that to us?
Yeah.
So I mean, not in that way. So we never like try to sway from like our core. If you got corporate on us and ask what our core value is, and I hate that stuff so much.
Right.
But it would be.
I do have a mission statement. I want you all to sign.
It would be making drinkable beers, like repeatable drinkable beers.
Yeah.
Because like not to talk on like any of the frou-frou styles out there, but like there's so many beers out there.
Yeah.
That like you would say like that's interesting, try it, and be like, okay. And then you don't want to drink it again. Not that you like hated it, but you're not going to like buy a 6-pack of it and go to town with it.
Sure.
So our kind of goal with every beer that we make is going with, this should be something that people can kind of come in and just make their one and only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we want everybody to be able to repeat drink the same beer. Like no matter what style, what vein we go down. So
like have a beer and then rely on it. Like
exactly.
It's just consistent.
We're not really into
beer.
the like this is so outrageous. You're gonna have to try this, and then you're like, I got what you did there, and I don't ever want to have that again.
Yeah.
Like,
I jokingly say when
I don't know.
When
That's just not us.
When it comes up with like our theme or whatever it may be, like what is our like mentality? I always say, thinking about this in as good a way as possible, you can tell that this brewery was started and operated by guys like in their early 40s when they started it, because it's like not about like, hey, let's get like a 10.0, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just, it's like, hey, let's make
Not
really
that there's
good,
anything
easy
wrong with
drinking
that.
beer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
but yeah, you don't have a menu full of
right.
triple dry hop, triple
exactly.
IPAs,
like
and
the vibe of the brewery reflects the vibe of the kind of drinkers we are nowadays. It's like, hey, that was fun back in the day, but wouldn't it be cool to like get up tomorrow?
Right. Yeah. When's summer camp coming back?
Summer camps become like a seasonal for us.
It's springtime beer, I think. Like,
Yeah.
right when the Phillies start.
Yeah.
Like, that's usually
I
about
think I
when
had
we're there.
that early on. Like it was maybe one of the first times you guys did it here.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool beer.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've like decided over the last like couple months is we want to be able to keep making new beers.
Yeah.
But we love the roster of beers that we've created.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And to find a way to get those beers back out, we've decided to break them down into seasonal beers. For the most part, we have a few flagships that were like Robot that we had, and a few others that we're always going to do our best to have on tap and hopefully in cans. But the other ones we've just kind of been like, what's the best season to drink that style in?
Yeah.
Let's just kind of get it in that season so we don't have to field the question of like, so one, Get the Kinks Out is our chocolate vanilla porter.
Yeah.
We love that beer. It's a lower ABV porter. And we get questions about it a lot, but we decided that's going to be our fall seasonal porter.
Sure.
Because it kind of fits into place with that. So
Shout out Tom. Tom also said that summer camp is amazing, but he also has a questions for you guys.
He
said,
does.
Let's ask Steve and Jared about the epic street hockey brawl on Oak Street years ago.
Yes. Yeah. So
Tell me about that.
Steve, I met Steve when I was like 10 or 11, maybe 11 years old, and we used to have a street hockey game at our buddy Tony Aceto's house on Oak Street in Coatesville.
Shout out, Tony.
Yep. And it was me and my brother, our Tom Diabello, who's actually a big owner here. So.
Shout out Tom. I've seen him check in. Yeah.
Decades later, and you have a connection to us.
Yeah.
Right.
But all I remember is Steve was a horribly dirty hockey player.
I gave effort. I gave a lot of effort when I would play
Rick
hockey.
A little too much effort for a friendly street hockey game.
That's
and
perfect.
I forget, something happened, and it just there must have been a dirty hit or something happened, and we all just started fighting for whatever reason. I don't remember why.
I don't remember either. I just remember there being a pile of sticks and gloves.
Yeah.
That when we're done, we have to go pick up.
Yeah.
That sounds like
you
a
guys
good
cool?
hockey
All right.
game.
It was fun.
That's how hockey is.
I'm completely blown away that wasn't Orsborn.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
That was
expecting
me.
him to answer, and then it's actually you.
Oh, that
it
was
was
me.
funny. So when I first saw this podcast, and I was like, Steve Regner.
like,
Whoa,
that's the
hold on.
guy I
I know that
thought.
I
guy.
know that guy. But yeah, we played at Tony's. Tony was a good friend of mine. His dad is famous, might be the wrong word, but a well-known teacher
Oh yeah.
Okay.
in the Coatesville district, and we would
Famous works.
we would be in their driveway and we had some battles.
Smashing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like it was like a full court. It was a full court street hockey game.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
the nets were only like 20 feet apart.
Right.
But
Right.
two nets on a game is pretty legit.
Oh yeah,
you know.
totally. But yeah, it was. It was.
So wait, you guys had two padded up goalies?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
cow.
We could, yeah.
That's legit. Even at 20 feet apart. I mean, no kids are doing that.
So I would ride. I lived on 6th and Walnut
Okay.
in Coatesville.
Yep.
I would ride my bike up to Oak Street and then over to what's he on, like 13?
Yeah, something right around there. Yeah.
So picture this kid with a stick driving his bike,
Yeah.
and I had like my gloves tied around my neck because I had the
stuff.
actual gloves
Yeah.
and shin guards on. We would go at it.
Uh-huh.
Holy
That
cow.
was a good game for
That's
sure.
fantastic.
I was great on feet.
that was
Skates.
my whole foray into hockey. Was just street hockey.
Skates.
I put skates on, and I was like, I can't do this.
couldn't do it.
Nope.
My ankles couldn't do
It's
it.
not for my feet or
not
my
easy.
body.
Right.
All right, we're running low on minutes here, so let's quick talk about this beer, and then I've got a completely random question
Yeah.
to ask everybody.
And don't forget about our toast.
And we got to do toast of the week. You're right.
Totally.
So-
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Tell me about the beer.
This is a beer called Bob.
A beer called Bob.
Yep, this is our Pilsner. What do you? He knows the hops better than I do.
It's bittered with Northern Brewer and Tettnang and dry hop with Saz.
Yeah.
Or Saz. I've never learned how to say that hop.
Saz.
I
Never
love
Saz.
this beer.
I'll say sauce.
Saz.
Yeah.
Sauce.
Yeah, I don't know. But I love this. I like the bitterness in it. That's like
This one's not in can, so I have nothing to say about it.
okay. Nothing.
No, this is one of my
It's
favorites.
Pat
This is one of
It's
my,
really good.
We're not drinking it this time.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Nothing to do with it.
I'll be an asshole. Why is it not in cans?
This is the first time we brewed it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is still the first batch.
Yeah.
I think it came out perfect. It's
Yeah.
one
It's-
of our
We're real happy.
right
with
now.
it.
So
Yes.
we already gave out a shout out to Donnie. We should probably give a shout out to Nick over at Marchwood. We actually have a keg of this over at Marchwood Tavern.
Oh, nice.
Nick, and they carry a lot of our cans as well. Awesome guys over there. But I love this beer. I mean, to me, it's like Stella, reminiscent of a Stella, but like I think even more easily drinkable and
Yeah.
just clean.
No, it's got,
Love it.
I don't know. I think this is like a nice light lager type beer for somebody that appreciates craft beer. You've got nice hops in there, nice body. It's
Thanks.
well balanced. It doesn't come off thin anywhere. It's like just a nice, solid ride, start to finish.
Yeah, I hate it when people say I don't like hoppy beers. I drink pilsners. Like a pilsner is a hoppy beer, and that's what this is supposed to be, and it's really nice.
Awesome.
All right, you guys ready for a completely random question?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious to see what you say. I think Mr. Steve's got one right off the bat.
He told me this in the car, and I didn't answer, but it came to me like that. So I'll go first and give you guys a chance to think.
What movie traumatized you the most as a kid? Can you traumatize you? Can you think of a movie as a kid that might
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Ooh.
Tell me about that. What is that? I've never heard of that.
It's a
1945.
It's a series of horror movies where Santa Claus is the killer.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. It's
What's it
pretty
called?
good. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Holy shit!
And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many, but
Yeah?
just watching the first one at my cousin's house, and we were all like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Holy shit.
Santa Claus is gonna fucking
A couple came into my mind after the first one, but I got to give you gut reaction. I have to give you the first one that popped in my mind was Watership Down, which was just like it's
Never even heard of it.
It's an animated movie, early animated movie based on a novel about like a crew of rabbits. But it is bizarre. It's actually like later in life you realize it's like like metaphorical Jesus thing going on, which is a little like heavy and weird.
Yeah.
And not to like go down that road, but just in it, it's super unbelievably sad, and there's a dog that kills the rabbits. And it's just horrible. But all of the metaphorical stuff was lost on me as a kid. I just felt bad for the rabbits.
Right.
So traumatizing. That is it.
Yeah. Anybody watching or participating online, hop in the chat there. Let us know if there's a movie that traumatized you as a kid. Do you got one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a clown thing nowadays, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah,
there was something about that movie that didn't sit right with me when I was a kid, and
it got
I still don't like it.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
That clown coming up from under the bed and pulling that kid under there fucked me up for night after night. I would have to check underneath my bed to make sure there was nothing. Poltergeist. Easy.
As a kid, I think I must have been sheltered pretty well because I didn't see a ton of stuff. But Child's Play, when I was younger, like
anything
the
with
toys
like a
coming
doll
to
that comes
alive
life
and fucking killing you definitely drove that got to me.
So there's weird themes of betrayal. We're talking Santa, we're talking clowns, we're talking dolls
toys,
over here,
right?
like everything you think you can trust. And now I think deep-seated betrayal issues, maybe, guys.
It's that one definitely got to me. But like I don't know, I remember really quickly rebounding and like being able to watch like thrillers like Jurassic Park and enjoying it, and then like Scream, just like when Scream came out, like I think it was early 90s. I was probably a couple years older than Child's Play, but like when that one came out, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I actually can enjoy it. But I think Child's Play is probably the one that got to me the most. Before I was like an older teenager, and somebody shows you like one of those tapes of like Faces of Death.
Oh yeah, I hate that stuff.
Oh Jesus Christ, I can't watch that.
I didn't
stuff.
even like that stuff when I was a kid. Like when
No,
you're supposed to be
either.
quote unquote into that stuff. I was
I'm out.
No.
I think I saw about 30 seconds. It was like, nope, I'm out. I'll never want to see this again.
Also, Arachnophobia is a movie that should not have been made.
Jared is
very real, very scared.
Spiders.
Listen. Let's keep it. We run the tightest ship you could run here, but we are next to a river, so occasionally, when after a heavy rain, there might be a spider or two, in and around the premises, and Jared is not feeling spiders.
He's out,
which I'm fine with. I don't.
Shut up.
I remember the one I got with a cup. You were like, "Why would you do that?" I was like, "It's just taking him outside, man. It's fine.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna drink all the beer." Shout out Mario. Mario said
the size of a hand.
Yeah. Mario said Pet Cemetery.
Okay,
that freaked him out the most.
My goodness, the woman with meningitis. Oh my lord, I remember that one. Was it meningitis? Yeah, the older sister in Pet Cemetery. You guys remember this? Yeah, I was old enough to have seen that in the theater, so I should have been like up past the age of not being able to get to sleep for days and days and on end. But yeah, that one was rough.
Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, let's get to Toast of the Week. We do a weekly segment. I don't have the sounder because Taylor's not here, but we do a weekly segment where we just toast something. It can be a positive, it can be a negative, but we're going to toast something that maybe happened in the past week or two and talk about it. So You want to start off, Mr. Steve?
I got 2.
Go for it.
Okay, my first one, a quick one. Shout out to my brother. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Steve's brother.
Big
Steve's
4-0
brother.
to Mike.
What's his name? Mike.
Big 4-0. And the
40.
second, yeah, he's big 4-0. And the second one, I'm toasting me.
Oh,
You know why I'm toasting me?
no. Tell me.
Because I'm telling you, and I'm looking directly at the camera, do not watch Wonder Woman 1984.
Do not.
Do not watch it. It sucks so bad.
Taylor talked it up like it was one of the best Marvels. It's like one of the best in the MCU.
Well,
It's
not in the
DC,
MCU,
first of all.
it's
DC.
Oh, it's DC. Never mind.
Different movie, right?
If Taylor actually said that, he
No, he
can go fuck himself.
For sure.
And
Regardless.
anybody else. But thank me for keeping you from watching Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay.
Toast to me. Put it up.
All right. My toast of the week, I've got 2 of them as well, and they're both wedding related.
Ooh.
So I got to give a shout out to Kevin Reevy on the network. He does Might Be Sports. Reevy got married last week.
Yeah, last week.
So shout out to him. Congratulations on getting married. That looked like a lot of fun. They had like a New Orleans brass band.
It was
out on the
almost like a
streets
New
in
Orleans
Philly, and-
mummers kind of thing.
Yeah, going down the street. That looked like a lot of fun. So shout out
Don't they
Kevin.
usually bury people like that? That's a New Orleans funeral, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was more
Same
mummers than
We'll see if it works out. But also, my brother Nathan, he proposed to his girlfriend. So they're going to get married also. So shout out Nathan and Desiree. Cheers to them.
Cheers.
I'm excited to expand the Wilcox family. So we'll see about that. Hopefully we get a
Cheers.
boy. Keep the name going.
I'm stealing this one since I wasn't even here for it. But earlier today, from La Cabra, Vern from La Cabra, is that correct?
I saw a can there.
Yeah, we
what is that?
La Cabra, that was our buddy Vern from La Cabra.
Yeah, dropped
I met
off
for the first time.
and we always appreciate when other brewers stop by. We try to do the same. We try to stop at as many breweries.
You will always leave with a
visit
mixed
people
4-pack of
as much as
ours.
we
if
can.
you come in with
But
yours.
Yeah,
so Vern,
that's
cheers.
cool. Yeah, shout out Vern.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'd like to get them on. They seem like
Much
cool people.
appreciated.
I know they do a little bit different. You know, they really have a restaurant, but they got some really nice food.
Yeah, they do.
Some
They have
mole
a-
wings.
They have a couple locations now, right? I know they're in.
They just opened the new just like a year ago.
Bodega?
The bodega.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bryn Mawr and Berwyn then.
Yes.
Can I
think
tell
so.
a quick story? Once I worked for Avellino's tire company, and I accidentally delivered a load of tires that was meant for Bryn Mawr to the Berwyn store.
Oh.
So I've been confusing those two my
Yeah,
whole
right?
life.
Yeah. Any other toasts? Anybody got a toast? It's okay if you don't.
I mean, I'll toast. I'll toast to our staff. We
Yeah.
have the best crew of bartenders. Our
Nice.
chef is awesome. Pat, like, it's like a family here. We couldn't be happier with our help.
Oh, it's amazing.
To the staff?
So
To the
to our
staff.
staff. Yep,
Drink it up.
absolutely. Yep.
Hold your glass the
Oh,
right
and,
way.
and
Steve.
Joe is our
Show your emblem to the.
Joe is our assistant brewer. He helps us out 2 days a week here.
Nice.
If anything goes wrong, we blame him.
There you
and
go.
we toast him for that.
Being able
Joe,
to
this
blame Joe.
beer tastes like shit, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. Joe, they told me you were the Wonder Woman 1984. Actually.
Joe's in my shit house. No, I'm just kidding. No, Joe's
Pat, you
my
got
man.
anything? Pat, you got anything?
Oh, I want to toast Steve and Jared for bringing me on. We're having a lot of fun. It's been an amazing 2 months, and I think 2
saw
months
that-
has been a lot longer than that. With
Yeah.
2 full-time months, and I'm looking forward to like keeping it rolling and keeping it moving and seeing where we go.
Yeah, that's exciting. Good stuff. Well, cheers to you. Cheers to
Cheers.
you guys,
I'll
everybody
always toast
here.
to myself.
Thanks for having us on. And also shout out to we had a handful of people. We still got Kurt and Fish over there.
Kurt Fisher here.
I know her Instagram name, believe it or not, but
That's Nadine. That's
Nadine,
our
yeah,
bartender.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she works here part time. Pat, I'm super excited to
man.
get to hang out with you a little bit
man,
here.
I'm sure I'll see you around all these fests and all these things. we do,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
And
Seth over at the bar. Seth's
yeah,
still
Seth's
hanging
still here.
out.
I forgot about Seth, and then Brett
Brett
and
and
Doug,
Doug.
and I don't know who was the other guy that was with them.
Yeah, when
don't
I
know.
first
I
made the
was
jump,
hoping you
I
know.
talked to Sean about it for a minute, and he was just via text. And
Sean?
yeah. And he was just like, yeah, you kind of love the industry or whatever. So I was like, yeah.
Oh, good, yeah.
Like that vibe, you know what I mean? It's like almost like we all work at different spots, but it almost feels like we're all sort of working toward the same thing. You know what I mean? It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
A rising tide brings up all ships.
Yeah, that's the way to do
right.
it. That's the way to do it. All right, guys. Well, let me see if this is the button.
Thanks, John.
There we go. Guys, if you took the time to watch us on the internet, to listen to our podcast, we really appreciate you. Make sure you like it, you share it, you follow it. Anything like that, we really appreciate it. Tell your friends. Everybody that hung out, that came to visit us, that was really cool. The guys here at Animated, make sure you come check them out because, I mean, the beer is amazing. Every beer that we had tonight was awesome. So you guys are killing it. You guys picked some great beers. But come pick up a 4-pack. Come eat.
You want more off camera? We're here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we might hang out for a minute. But if you guys took the time, we really appreciate it. Make sure you check out our sponsors. You know me as CBD. Also check out theno.com/MBN.
We're off in 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to take off a couple of weeks. We're going to do a little bit of vacation stuff. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for letting us come here and do the thing. And we will talk to you next time.
Yeah, man. That's cool. Is that good?
All right, let's do it.
The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Might Be Brews, episode 59, the podcast where we explore the people, places, and brews of the craft beer world. My name is John. With me, as always, Mr. Steve. How you doing tonight?
We got to give a shout out to all the people that came out.
Yes.
Out tonight here.
There's 3 of them for sure. But shout out to you guys. I don't know if I have a clap.